In my previous bead crochet videos, I talked about how much I really enjoy making these crochet cotton necklaces. Just so easy and fun to make, I really love playing with beads. And so soft on my skin, I really dig the vintagey feel of these, and I wear them all the time. So before, we crocheted a continuous loop necklace that can go over your head, which is how I usually do it. But if you want a shorter length, it's pretty easy to add a metal clasp, so I'm going to show you how to do that today. We are also going to make this a multi-strand design this time, but by crocheting one long bead chain to keep it simple, or that was the idea, and we'll just see how that turns out for me. Okay, for this one, we are using a size 10 crochet cotton. Crochet hook size about 1.5 millimeters to 2 millimeters, kind of teeny. Mine's a little smaller, but we're also going to need a flexible beading needle. Oops. It's because we are using findings, metal findings, we need some pliers. Let's see, the clasp, got a bunch of jump rings in here. So we'll just use two the same, because I have a bunch of them in that. So I'll need two of those. And then also for the end, we'll use these little end crimps for the yarn. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's just a little like pronged thingy you can get for this very purpose. You put it on bead cord normally, but this is, pretty much the same thing. Yay, that's fun. Oh, here's the other tool I was going to say. I got it from Fire Mountain, so you can bend the ring without pliers, but you still have to hold it somehow. It's not my favorite. I prefer the pliers, but that's a thing. As I mentioned, check out my other tutorial for a little more details, maybe about the beads, but we're going to use size 6 seed beads. We're going to use size 11 seed beads. These are both like gunmetal. I'm going to use 3 focal beads this time because it's going to be longer. I thought that'd be kind of fun. So I'm going to use 2 colors of green faceted rounds, which are, check beads, 6 millimeter. I don't really like to go above 6 or 8 millimeters for round ones. And then I've got these other darker kind of medium green. And then I'm going to alternate those with these glass pearls, and I've talked about these also. I love these. They're inexpensive kind of, and the finish really lasts really nicely, and I think they come in different colors, so I've gotten them, sometimes I use brown ones. These are kind of darker than a white pearl, which I like because I'm going to use the brown. It'll look nice. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I think that's it, right? That's all we need. All right, so the quantity of beads you're going to need are going to be determined in your design, which I will cover next. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to figure out how many focal beads you need and how many seed beads for the length that you're going to do. Okay, for mine, and how many strands. Oh, all right, so for mine I'm going to do 3 strands, 1 2 3, and what I'm going to do is 3 strands. I'm going to make one long continuous loop, and then I'm going to fold it up into the strands, because I think that's the easiest way to do it, just to bust out a big long one and then kind of adjust it. This is the same size beads we're going to use, so I'm just going to measure this. Now I'm saying if you have your own design, you don't want to use my little pattern, you can measure it, work up a little sample of your little pattern that you come up with from in front of the large seed bead to just past the large seed bead, right? I need to not pull it. So it's a little more than 1.5. I'm just going to say for simplicity 1.5, even though it's a little more than that. Okay, because if I get to the end and it's not the right length, I can always add a little. But I probably should print, huh? Does anybody read cursive anymore? I like to write cursive. Repeat plus look at my printing, it's obnoxious. Repeat part is what I say, 1.5. All right, now my total length that I want here is 18 inches. For me, that's the length that I like. Hello, Harry. I'm busy, okay? Let's not right now. Harry's supervising. Get out of there. What are you thinking? He thought he was going to walk right on here. Full length is going to be about 18, because I think with 18 plus the clasp, it will be just right. About 18 and a half is perfect for me. 3 times 3 strands, 54. 54 inches total. Pretty close is what I want. Now I'm going to take that 54 and divide it by my repeat, and then I'll know how many repeats I need, okay? So 54 inches divided by 1.5 inches is 36. Okay, so I need 36 of each bead that's in this repeat from here to here. So, and what I have in my repeat is 1 focal, 2 seed beads, 2 small seed beads, 1 large seed bead, right? Start with the seed bead, then there's 7 stitches, then a little seed bead, focal, 1 stitch, seed bead, 1 stitch, focal, 1 stitch, seed bead, 7 stitches, and then you just go back to over here, right? And start again. So that's the repeat, okay? 7 here. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does, right? That means I need 36 large ones, 36 total focals, and I'm going to rotate mine. I actually have 3 different ones. What's 2 times 36? 72? I think that's right. Tiny seed beads, which if you have a box of them, just to give you an idea what you need. That worked better than the one I did before. Okay, so you want to do your repeat 36 times, up hopefully into 3 strands of 18 inches each. That's my plan, because like I said, we have to put all the beads on ahead of time, so we're figuring. If it's off, I don't think it'll be too far off, but I can always add a little chain at the end and you won't even see it in the back. You know, I could add a little bit, it wouldn't matter. All right, here I go. For the bead chain stitch, just push a bead close to the hook and then work the stitch around it. For a little bit more detail, you can check out my first basic bead crochet video, which I will link below for you. Whoops. Really? How's that possible? Okay, so I'm having an issue here. I'll just share my error. Here's why I should have done a sample instead of just relying on my old one, which is close, but for some reason, I guess just my stitches or whatever. So the one I just made is more like 2 inches, oops, between the repeat, see? Whereas this one's like 1.5 inches still, kind of. So that's really weird, but see, I should have just done a sample like I advised you to do. Error is what 54 is what I was going for. Yeah, it's quite a bit different. Quite a difference. So now I need the ends to be at the end, but I want to attach them to these folded parts, okay? But I gotta say, I like the way it looks. See, what I don't want is for these to match up exactly, and that's what I'm trying not to do. Now, it is 18. Perfect. So that part I did right. I mean, eventually. Let's put it in thirds and messed around with it because it was really matchy. And now by pulling it just a little bit one way, it's not quite as good at this. I'm going to attach the single side to this loopy side by just crocheting it together. And here also, I think I'm just going to pull it through and like tie it so that these are attached. And what we're going to do is add a second little loop of crochet to hold the ends. We're not going to attach the clasp stuff right to this. I'm going to add another piece. Just one. I'm just attaching it. I'm not going to go any further. Okay, now the other end is tied off, so I'm going to say this is going to go in here somewhere. Okay, so my plan is to take the crochet and crochet a little like chain loop around these, then attach it to a chain. And oh, I like it. It's cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put it through here. I'm just gonna join it. So I'm just doing a chain and I'm whipping this thing back and forth. So it'll be woven in. I don't need to do it too far. If your measurements are off, this would be a good place to add a little length. Oh, that good. I think I did 4 or 5 chains after I joined it. I did 5 chains, joined it around the necklace, and then I did, I think, 4 or 5 more chains, but I probably could do less. Okay, so I've got my little crimpy doos here. It's a flat thing with a hole at the end and 2 little prongy, 3 little prongy deals. You see that? I'm gonna leave these until I get it in there, and then I'm gonna trim them off after. So I just set it in there, but once it's in here, I can trim it off and it won't come out. But you don't want it to fray, though. I would put a little fray check on the end or something just to make sure. With that in place, I got it the wrong way. I'm going to hold it with this part on the loopy part, and then I'm going to take my little needles and squinch it down. I'll zoom in when I edit. One goes that way, one goes this way. Once I get them in place, I just squish the hell out of them. Okay, I just have to jump in here for a second as future me and apologize for the amount of blurriness you're about to witness. I get kind of close and don't notice, but I just got a new fancy iPad, so hopefully we can avoid this in the future. And I thank you for your patience. Want to braid it, you kind of just turn this in, right, to twist it. Turn this in one way, turn it in the other way, and mess around until you get it as twisty as you want. You might want all the layers to just lay free. It's pretty. I actually did a lot of jewelry for a long time. I love making jewelry. I love mixing like textile jewelry with regular jewelry. It's fun. I like mixing everything, anything. All right, now we're getting somewhere. It's pretty. I like it. Oops. I like it. So like, that's where we're gonna put our clasp. If you know how to do this, then you can go from here, but I've just got a couple of jump rings. All right, so it is easier to open these with 2 pairs of pliers. You might know that already. But you can do it with your fingers too. It is possible. I haven't done anything with clasp for quite a while. Is this going? Oh, it is. Great. All right, put this. I like my clasp on the right side. Good time to check back. Okay, and now close the door. Right. Okay, looks good. And there we go. It was a little painful. It wasn't too bad. I knew I could do it. You might not have known, but I knew I could. There we go. Boom. Pretty. That's kind of cute, dude. That's pretty. But I did it. It is a multi with a clasp. And now in the future, when I do other projects with clasps, you know exactly how to attach it. Oh, can't wait to see how this fits.